Welcome, everyone. I'm Stephen Garvey, leader, founder of National Citizens Alliance, NCA. On behalf of National Citizens Alliance, all our members and supporters, I want to wish you and your family a very, very happy new year and a lot of prosperity, a lot of security for you and your family in 2019. And what a year it's going to be, everyone. What a tumultuous year that we're heading into. There's a lot of exciting stuff going on. And if we look back at 2018, what a tumultuous year that was. And you could argue it was the start of a great awakening across the world. And we're seeing this through the Yellow Vest movement, uh, a rising up of people worldwide against the globalist elites, against the United Nations, against these globalist corporations who only care about themselves and their profits, against Agenda 21, against the open borders, against the extreme taxation, against the top-down governance, against the one world government that's being pushed on Canadians, Europeans, Asians, you name it, Americans, Australians, worldwide. This is impacting everyone. It's very serious. And obviously, I'm wearing the yellow vest tonight as the National Citizens Alliance supports the yellow vest movement that is anti-globalist. That's what we support because we are anti-globalist. We're pro-Canadian. There's different versions of this yellow vest movement that have been infiltrated by Antifa. Globalists have infiltrated it and made it all about taxation or something like that. Antifa's spinning it into racism, the media spinning it into violence. But we support the anti-globalist version of Yellow Vest. That's what we stand for. And I talk to you tonight in solidarity with people around the world who share our sentiment. That is anti-globalist, pro your own country, pro your people. Help those people in need outside of your country after you help your own people. So we stand in solidarity with you out there if you are anti-globalist. And mistake not, this is this globalist agenda, the global world order, UN, Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, UN Migration Pact. This is all about one world tyranny over you and your family. That's what it's about. So it's great to see people around the world rising up. And we just saw that in Lebanon. The Lebanese are rising up. And we also saw evidence in Taiwan. There's movements, yellow vest versions, anti-globalists, and they're rising up. So this is very positive. Canada's yellow vest movement has become corrupted on many levels. Like I said, there's globalists in there pretending to be yellow vest, and like no one owns it, but they're in there. That's fine. There's Antifa in there. Who knows who else? But like I said, NCA stands for the anti-globalist version of yellow vest. And we like to think most Canadians share that sentiment who are part of Yellow Vest. We're going to have to clean this out because this movement in Canada, like I said, is being corrupted. The media is facilitating that through projecting it into violence, racism, anti-immigration, etc., etc. So there's some big challenges ahead, but fortunately, the NCA has kept itself separate from the general Yellow Vest movement. Though we are doing our own events independently, and we're maintaining our integrity of how we view Yellow Vest. And if we look back at 2018, a lot of it was focused on Trudeau and his post-national agenda, the extreme taxation, the UN Migration Pact, the massive outflow of foreign aid, the open borders, legal migrants crossing, etc., this stuff. What Canadians need to realize that this stuff going on in 2018, 2017, 2016 has been going on for decades in some form or another, regardless of which establishment party is in power. Mistake not. And the way Canadians have been controlled up to now is through left, right, liberal, conservative dichotomy. This is just a control mechanism to control the Canadian populace. They just swing them back and forth. And through the National Citizens Alliance, we believe a growing number of Canadians are waking up to that control mechanism, which is controlled by the globalists in Ottawa, the sellouts who are pushing this agenda. And this agenda is quite deep. Please remember the UN envoy for the UN Migration Pact is a Canadian, Louise Arbour. So the roots run deep in Canada. This globalist agenda in Canada has been going on steadily since Pierre Trudeau, and regardless of which establishment party is in power. Remember that. Mulroney was probably one of the worst globalists, probably worse than Pierre Trudeau if you look at the facts. I'm not going to go into tonight, but do your research. Harper as well was a pretty extreme globalist as well, signing Canada onto Agenda 2030, which the UN Migration Pact is aligned to. So get your facts. Don't get played back and forth. End of the day, what we believe matters, and this is what our upcoming rallies is about, is Canadian nationalism versus globalism UN. And that dichotomy is all that matters. And Canadian nationalism has been spun in a very negative way by the globalist establishment because they don't like nationalists, because it's the opposite of their agenda. And, these globalists, at least the corporate globalists, they have no allegiance to Canada. They're in all different countries, and all that matters to them is the bottom line. And that's why you see this going on. So we need to fight back. But Canadian nationalism, how National Citizens Alliance views it, is free speech, justice, liberty, equal opportunity, fair democracy, Canadian sovereignty, Canadian citizenry. That's how we defined it. All those beautiful things that we believe in. But how we define globalism UN, this is all about globalist elites controlling you and your family, the technocrats, the globalist corporations controlling you and your family. It's about global world order, global citizenry. It's about open borders, erosion of sovereignty, erosion of nationalism. That's what it's about. It's about a global tyranny of control. So that's what we're fighting. And as Canadian nationalists, which the NCA is, we love people around the world. We want to work with them. Bottom line, it's not about isolationism. That's how some of these globalists try to spin it, but that's ridiculous. We're open to working with people all around the world, but the bottom line is our people, our country come first. Remember that. And that's just common sense. It has nothing to do with isolationism. But it's about putting our people, our country, looking after our home, our backyard first, which is just common sense. So there's serious challenges going on. This globalist agenda has been going on for decades and decades and decades. So in 2019, there's great opportunities. We're going to be holding a number of Yellow Vest events. And we'll be going, we got one up in January 5th up in Edmonton, one on January 6th in Calgary, another one on January 5th in St. John, New Brunswick. And we're heading out to Lloydminster on January 12th. Later on, we're going to set dates for going into British Columbia, and then we're going to start heading east and hopefully end up in Ontario, and then and just keep going. So it's very exciting. Like I said, our events, we keep it true to what we believe Yellow Vest is about, which is anti-globalist, pro-Canadian, no UN. No UN. Kick out these globalist elites from Ottawa. That's what it's all about, everyone. And standing up for Canadian nationalism, standing up for our people, our country, and that's what we stand for. So I'm just glad that we've kept the integrity of how we view Yellow Vest, and we've had our own independent events. Um, and this is positive for us and for those who are anti-globalist as well. And I should caution people: watch out for controlled opposition, people who are just spinning and pretending, and look deeper into what people are saying. Watch out for what I call, remember this term, expensive empty suits. Watch out for those people who are just expensive empty suits, because we don't want to get played anymore. This is about our people, our country, our children, their future. It's so important, everyone. We got a lot of work ahead of us. We've been asleep for decades. We've been complacent. And these globalists have made huge inroads into Canada. And mistake not, they are transforming our country right now as we speak into a UN like globalist village. It's happening every day. And one of the main vehicles, it's not illegal migration, which is terrible, it's the mass immigration. This is the main vehicle to do the transformation, and then all the benefits to the people coming in, and the erosion of Canadian sovereignty and citizenry. This is happening, everyone. It's a radical, rapid transformation. The data on changes in demographics shows it clearly, and we don't support this NCA. This is, another way to look at this is a radical, rapid replacement of Canada's traditional population. Euro Canadians, Anglophones, Francophones, other Europeans who have settled here, who pioneered here, and our First Nations, Inuit, Métis, coast to coast. All these traditional populations are under threat through this globalist agenda being opposed by those globalist elites in Ottawa. This is a fact. Those are the facts, everyone. So we encourage people to come out. Don't get fooled. Look beyond the spins, the slogans, the expensive suits, the photo ops. Just look beyond it, because this is about your children and your future. And I'm just going to put up this. This is what I came across tonight. Look at this. It's in Taiwan, and this is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Yellow Vest protests spread to Taiwan and Lebanon as anti-globalism goes global. Isn't that wonderful? So it looks like, at least on in terms of this spreading of the movement, it hasn't been tainted, which is a very positive thing. And I encourage Yellow Vests who are anti-globalists to unite. Don't let this movement get tainted in Canada. There's a lot of sinister forces in Canada. There's globalists who are afraid of what this movement means, and they will do anything to hijack it. There's even what's called fake AstroTurf. It's called AstroTurf. These are fake grassroots organizations, and we've noticed that some of them have embedded into Yellow Vest as well. And just be on guard for these fake grassroots organizations. If you look into them, they're really tied to either globalist liberals, globalist conservatives, corporate globalist conservatives. That's where they're getting their funding from. So do your homework. And oddly enough, I have, there's some people out there who say Yellow Vest isn't political. They say it isn't political. Isn't that absurd? These people need to shake their head. This Yellow Vest movement is 100% political. This is a grassroots political movement against the status quo, against the globalist sellouts. It's 100% political. So it is what it is. No one owns it. And like we said the other day, if anyone claims ownership over Yellow Vest, they are the enemy, because we're fighting against these top-down ruling elites who dictate on us, the people. So anyone's taking ownership that's top down. That's just top down. That's what we're fighting. We don't want to be dictated to. And there's the event right here. This is on January 5th coming up in Edmonton. It's going to be a great event. We got some incredible speakers, and we expect a strong contingent of Antifa. And, we respect the right of Antifa to protest, but as long as they don't disrupt our event, we have no issue. So it is what it is. But, we have a great lineup of speakers for this event. And we got some really great First Nations coming. One lady from Saskatchewan who I've been in contact with, she fully gets it, so she'll be there as well. So it's very exciting. And we got some of our great honorable veterans showing up too. And we certainly want to hear from them. And there's it on our website, the January 5th one. There's a video on nationalism versus globalism. There's the UN Migration Pact video. And so that's at 2 p.m. That's when we're doing the event. And, just stay positive, everyone. It's going to be an exciting year. And I should add just some final things. NCA is on the verge of official registration, and we're just dealing with some confirmation forms. There was 140 of them that were recently mailed out, and we're encouraging on our members and supporters who received them to get them back into Elections Canada as soon as possible. We anticipate to be officially eligible by it looks like the second week of January, and we're planning to run in 4 by-elections that look like they're going to be called at the end of January and into February. And one of them, oh my God, that's going to be good. We're going to be going to it, South Surrey, that Jagmeet Singh, that NDP leader is going to be running there, so we'll be running against him, and I'll be going down there too. And I'm looking forward to having a debate with that NDP leader. Obviously, we oppose their agenda on almost all levels, and they're just globalists as far as we're complete globalist sellouts, and they're so far to the left. It just doesn't make sense. So that should be really interesting. And also, I should add further that we are setting up contacts in every riding in Canada. The 338 ridings, we already have contacts in place, but we're planning to get contacts in every single riding in Canada, and then we're going to be building into riding associations there. And we want to drain and replace all globalists across both sides of the aisle. We don't distinguish. It doesn't matter what your color is. If you're a globalist sellout, we're going to drain you. That's it. We're coming after you. We don't care what your party name is or anything. And if you're a expensive empty suit, a career establishment politician, we're coming after you to remove you as well. You don't belong in Ottawa. We got to get these cronies out of Ottawa. They are stinking up that place, and the smell is pretty strong. So that's all I'm going to share tonight. But I want to wish you and your family a great happy New Year. We're very excited. It's going to be a lot of work in the new year, but there's going to be a lot of fun and growth, and hopefully we can start the process to get this country turned around. I want to wish you all the best. Thank you for joining me.